Last year, Chicago had 762 murders. That is a 57% increase over the year before. 57% jump in 1 year. By contrast, New York City, that has 8.5 million population, while Chicago has 2.7 million, had 350 murders, a continuing decline in the murder rate even under de Blasio. So, literally 3 times the population and half the murder rate. This is just unbelievable, this stat from Chicago, and it shows what happens when you have a complete disarmament of the police, when the liberal policies are carried to the point where they literally can't stop anyone, can't frisk anyone, can't arrest anyone. And these murder stats in Chicago are with the toughest gun control laws in the country in Chicago. So, I mean, in effect, all you need to know about Democratic Party policies is contained economically in Detroit and homicidally in Washington. Those 2 cities are the case history. If you need a domestic reminder, Greece will help you in foreign affairs, of where this downward spiral of disarming the police really leads. Ultimately, under this administration, thank God it's got only 2 more weeks to go, they have disarmed the police, decriminalized crime, in effect legalized drugs, and released back onto the streets dangerous felons and fugitives who can really wreak mayhem when they're released onto the streets. This Black Lives Matter movement obviously has a very good effect in terms of curbing police violence. And I support the selfie cameras and all of that stuff that I think can reduce that. But they're doing that in New York. They're doing that in Philadelphia. They're doing that all over. What about Chicago? Why in Chicago does it have an impact completely disparate from its impact in those other cities? And I believe it is the social acceptability of crime and essentially a decision by Mayor Rahm Emanuel not to enforce the laws and not to go after criminals. It is just shocking. In any case, we really need a national study of what caused this 57% increase in 1 year in crime in Chicago. To give you an idea of it, murder in Chicago increased by more than the total number of murders that year in New York City. Unbelievable.